Okay. Good afternoon. Good evening. Hello, everyone. My name is Goke Taiwo, Comlag C89 Tiger House. Thank you very much for watching our show, Naija Commandos for Life. Sorry, Naija Commandos for Life. Thank you for subscribing, sharing, and watching our shows and commenting. Today we have two special guests, again from Nigerian Military School Zaria, NMS, coming to grace our platform with their presence and talk about their experiences. So we're very grateful to have them on, and to be very interested in listening to them as we listen to the first set of NMS Exboys who came on the show on the 10th edition. So I'll pass it to my co-host to introduce them. Thank you. Bye. Ife?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ife Dapo Lowe, Command Secondary School, Ipaja, Lagos, class of 88. We have the second time around having guys Exboys from NMS. Today we have Chris Udo and we have Paul Oko. Chris and Paul, you mind unmuting your phone? You're on mute.
Okay, good.
All right, so this is how we just kind of do this thing. It's going to be pretty simple. So we want you guys to share your experiences in NMS, how NMS has actually transformed you to who you've become today in your respective careers or lifestyles.
From boys to men.
Yeah. So Chris, we'll start with you. We want you to give us a brief description from the first day your parents dropped you off.
No, I was going to say something quickly. It's just, first of all, the two of them to just introduce themselves briefly, then we'll now go back to Chris as we normally do. So it makes it easier. So Chris, just introduce your name, yourself, your set, your what company you're in, NMS. Then we'll now go back to Paul. Then we'll now come back to you for a full description. So Chris, over to you.
Okay. All right, good day everyone once again. Okay, like you well know, I'm Chris Andrew Udo, NMS 92 oblique 2433, because we're known for, every NMS boy has a unique number which you are known for, and that number is your number till you pass for life. So even when we have among our prayers in the future, you are well recognized with that number, that unique number. All right. So I'm Chris Andrew, like I said, and I'm a security expert and a security professional. I'm into industrial security as it is. So I was in Delta Company. But really, when you hear Delta Company from NMS, we call it the job base. That is, we put it Delta Company and the rest. If you're not in Delta, Company, I think maybe NMS passed through you.
Really? I know some people go see this video, they're gonna be really pissed at you. You know that, right? Like, what's he talking about? All right. I was in Alpha. We were great. I mean, come on. All right, go ahead, Chris.
Okay. So Delta Company has this unique future for past Exboys and future Exboys. Now, Delta Company was, I won't say it was the epitome of wickedness.
Huh.
Yes. Just as you had the Octopus House in command.
Yes.
So that was Delta Company. And
well, if you're going to equivalent to command, it's actually Dragon House. They are the wicked bastards there.
Dude, really?
We're trying to. We have to equivalent it correctly. Right, Dragon House. Continue.
I really did not have that very sweet privilege of parents coming to drop you NMS is not like that. From your day one, you're a man. Now, one very sweet thing with NMS, when we resumed, even those who came with their parents, you don't even pass. There's a place you don't pass. We call it the assembly hall. That's where you do your documentation.
Mm-hmm.
Now, from there, you tell your parents or your guardians, you tell them goodbye.
Okay.
From there, you've been into the school.
Okay.
Now, so the seniors who are pending appointment holders,
mm-hmm.
like what you have as prefects.
Mm-hmm.
So they resume like 3 weeks before the normal school resumption for a kind of cadre course, special training as leaders.
Okay.
So we resume with them also, and that they don't tell you anything. You see how wicked they are, or they were rather. They don't tell you anything. In fact, we're very playful with them and all that, not knowing that NMS was hell. So, and they gave us that. I'll get back to that now. They gave us that intuition that NMS was sweet, that we don't have any problems and all that. Now, another unique thing in NMS, as a junior boy, there's no walking. You don't walk in NMS.
You jog in twos, right? You jog in twos.
Jog from. Yes, you jog from point A to point B. We call it tempo.
Okay.
We call it tempo. Yes. Then two, you don't walk on veranda. Before you can walk on veranda, I think it should be in SS1. And SS1, you are even doubling on the veranda. So there's no peace. So from day one, after dropping you, NMS is so sweet. Oh, okay. So we too, because we also have our cadre course. That's when we do our drill square test. Mm-hmm. That's where they teach you marching and how to wear your uniforms, how to do all those things. That's the period they teach you before the school resumes. So you just blend in. Now, the worst part of your life at that point is when the school fully resumes.
So once GSS2 boys and come in.
In fact, the SS2 boys are out there, they're not your problem. They don't have time for you. They don't have time for you.
No, I said GS2. I said GSS2 and GSS3, Abi.
Yes.
Yeah,
your
that's
problem,
true.
Because at that time, they are fire eaters, are what we call fire eaters. Mm-hmm. So their blood is hot. For them to give others payback time. What they suffered, they want to unleash on you. Now, some of us were old in NMS. Like someone like me, I was already going to JSS3 before coming to NMS. NMS, there's no transfer.
Yes, there's no transfer.
You have to start again.
So what school did you go to first? What school did you go to before coming to NMS?
I was in command. I was in the Paja, but I left.
Oh, you were in command in Paja?
I was in the Paja.
How long?
Yes.
How long?
I left. I was in Paja for a year. Then really? I went for almost a year.
What year did you enter Ipaja? What year did you enter Ipaja?
91 or 91.
90?
It can't be 90. There was no 90.
No, there was 90. There was my sister came in 90. Yes, my younger sister, that means my younger sister is your mate.
No, there was no graduating class there was
no graduating, but there was my younger sister came into command, October's house in 1990. Yeah, so what house were you in command?
I think it was Octopus.
You're in Octopus?
I think it was Octopus.
That means you know my younger brother then?
Like a year. I didn't stay.
You know Omoisola? He was the senior prefect, Omoisola Taiwo. He was your brother's mate now.
I can't really remember. From command Western College. From command I went to Western College.
Okay,
that's what from where I went to Western College, because to Western College where I was already in I finished my SS2 JSS2. in Western College before coming to start all over again.
Okay.
So you know, you who have been those I knew from command that left, people like Toye, or people like Bamdele Ereyomi. So I had correct landing ground NMS because they were all in data company. Those I knew then that were mates.
Oh, some people went from command to NMS that you already knew.
Yeah. So they were like a year my seniors.
Got you.
Yeah, so they were like a year my seniors. Yeah.
Okay.
So I had soft landing because those ones were in Delta. So I had soft landing as well. Now, NMS is not where you will pray for your enemy to go to. Really, any luxuries at all, not at all. Really.
Why is
no
that?
luxury. So when fire eaters come in, that's your immediate seniors. Everybody wants to shine. Their first opportunity to be seniors in this life. So they deal with you very well. They are responsible for you being up to speed. But the seniors do not have your time. So we had so many problems because at that time we didn't know that you were not supposed to walk on veranda. You're not supposed to stroll. You understand? Then we had people, set of people we called the provost. Regimental provost. They are like the forces. They keep time. They guide you. They play your life for you in every day NMS. They conduct the duties. They conduct duties. You're sweeping, cleaning.
Chris, wait. Vex, make we back up a little bit. We never allow Paul introduce himself. We'll get back to all that in our story.
Yeah, Paul.
Paul,
introduce yourself, your house, your company, your set, and everything.
Okay, my name is Paul Inalegoko from Benue State.
Wait, say it again. You said Paul what? Say it again.
Paul Inalegoko.
Okay.
From Benue State.
I can't pronounce that thing.
I was better company.
Okay.
I was the Sergeant PM, that is
Sergeant Provost Marshal.
Sergeant Provost Marshal, Discipline Master in Delta Company in my SS3.
Oh, really? So you have enemies?
Yeah, so many enemies, boss. To an extent, I was more like, I don't know, I was everywhere when I was in NMS, and I left the army 2000. We left at almost the same time, 2008. I went to Damfodo, University of Sokoto, Usman Damfodo University, had my MSc Unijos. Then
the two of you went to NDA after Nigerian Defense Academy after you finished from NMS.
After our graduation, we got army sponsorship to the university.
Oh, to university, okay.
It's optional. Either you go to the university or you go to Nigerian Defense Academy. But opted for the university.
Okay. So they paid for that. They paid for that.
Of course.
Oh really? Okay. So wait. Because I don't think for the set before you, my cousin set in the 80s, they were not paying for tuition for university. So during your own time, they were paying for tuition for university.
Of course, you know, policies changes.
Wow. Okay.
Come up with we are on army sponsorship of about 56,000 naira as at then.
Okay.
So I had my BA to the university.
Okay.
MSc Unijos. I was running my PhD in Uniport.
Wait, how many paid for all this? How many paid for bachelor's, master's, and PhD? Nigeria Army paid for all that education.
No, Army paid for our BSc,
first degree.
Okay.
The first degree will be paid for
by the Nigerian Army. Okay.
For the MS and your PhD, you're your own.
Okay.
So I'm an economics by profession.
Okay.
A mariner, and I equally consult for CIBN. I set their exams and all that. Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria.
I know, but you guys enjoy those. So Exboys during your own time were being the education was paid for bachelors. That's really good. I didn't know that actually. I don't think that happened to the 80s set. The folks in the 80s did not get that same privilege. That finished before you guys.
I told you,
policies change.
Okay, were you guys still when you were in NMS, in your time in NMS, were you guys still getting salary?
Of course,
yes.
From the one.
Salary. When they pay for your university. I know, we know what the salary one. So when I get salary, the university they can't pay for. God damn it, you guys enjoy it. I didn't know. Okay, because my cousin that went to NMS, he finished in 1990. You guys didn't meet that set. They didn't tell me. None of them got their tuition paid for.
Oh, maybe.
Okay, wait. Let's get back to the fun part. All those that logistics.
No, we got to know our view because you know what? You know the last video. They were surprised about the salary.
I was surprised, but I didn't know they were collecting salary anyway. But
that one I knew that one in the 80s because my cousin was there. But I didn't know about the paying for. He didn't tell me about paying for tuition. That one is new to me.
The interesting part for this guy, Paul, that these
may be collected.
He may have been collected. I did not tell you.
No. Salary one I know. I have no. In the 80s generation, I have more than 30 friends that went to NMS because some of them went to Commadery school with me. Right? Then my cousin, so the first set of guys you saw that we brought on, they were all my friends. The two of them were my friends, were my cousins. So those ones I know, but they didn't mention because I'll call him again today. Didn't they pay for? I know that he did not pay for that one. So that's new to me. That's a new revelation.
I mean, that's what he's saying. They said policies change. Maybe
policies. Yeah. Okay.
So, Udo, sorry, Paul. My question is, you were a provost, right?
Yes, sir.
I want you to elaborate how you discipline people.
How? Come again?
I want to elaborate what you did as a
provost.
You have a lot of enemies.
Yeah, as a provost, I was the third in command in my house, Delta Company. I was in charge of discipline, or maybe partially I was in discipline because I was going to town. And my duty.
Wow, provost.
my duty was coordinate the SS2 students, calling them to orders, and again ensuring that all forms of discipline at the company level was well executed. That was my responsibility.
Wow.
Just basically discipline.
Right.
So that was my duty. Third in command in my house,
in Delta Company. Wow. Let me tell you one thing about Delta Company again.
Yeah,
now, Delta Company is a place whereby from other send you to Delta Company, you don't come.
You don't come.
You rather dash. You rather go elsewhere. You rather lie that you went there and you didn't see anyone. It's not a company that you just throw in.
Why? I mean, what?
Yes.
What's going to happen if you're strolling?
No. There's what we call buying job. Buying job is like you go and get problem for yourself.
Get punishment.
There's no how you enter Delta Company because Delta Company, aka job biz. job is what we call punishment.
Yeah, I know that
Yes,
term.
there's no how. There's no how to do that. And you will not see one person, two, or a group serving job in daughter company. There's no how. There's no day. So when they send you there, you go and you will lie that you didn't see the person. You don't come into daughter company.
Wow.
And you are very well respected. You go to other company, so you are from daughter company. Yes.
So how did you? Okay, so I have a question. I have a quick question. How did you guys, as junior students, survive Delta Company? Because it's like the equivalent of the Dragon House for Ikpaja, where the juniors there just suffer anyhow. So how did you guys survive it as juniors in Delta Company, when you know that it's a place that people buy job and people from other companies don't refuse to come there?
No, the truth is, do I say we were fortunate to find ourselves there? We were fortunate to find ourselves, and the moment you are there, I think it was just our set and Chris that we discovered few of our mates that were not competent to be amongst us, and we came up and we posted them to other companies. Our set, it has never happened in NMS.
It has never happened to NMS.
But in our set, we did that. I don't want to call names because
when you were in JS1, what do you mean you posted it? When you were in JS1, you posted people out, or is it when you guys were seniors?
We were in GS3. When we were in GS3, when we were in GS3, we realized there were some persons
that were not competent.
Normally in the data company, there's what we call blanket punishment.
Mm-hmm.
If I buy a job,
elaborate.
Have it together.
Elaborate.
You get my point. So when we realized there were certain customers of ours that really buying job for us, so we just kind of came up with how do I put it? We came up with an idea and we said to push them to Bravo Company and some other.
They were reposted to other companies.
Were posted
to Alpha Bravo Company.
You understand? So we just had the gallant ones that passed out our sets.
Mm-hmm. From
data company.
So did the school authorities support that?
Yeah, it was this. Yeah,
we actually we don't even know how we came up with that, but we all knew that they were out.
You guys are wicked.
All right, so. Chris, what was your own position?
Yes.
I know Paul was provost. What was yours? What role did you play?
Okay. Who did I?
What role did you play? I mean, Paul was provost.
Okay.
Your position.
I was a dining hall boy.
Hey.
I was a dining hall boy.
I put you next to food. Foodie.
Now, no, it's not really liking of food. Now in NMS, because the appointment for provost starts from your SS1.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you miss provost, because out of all your sets, only 4 of you in the company that will be provost. Now, like a place like data company, every class 4 boy is coming up. That is, we always have the issue of selecting provost in Delta company because everybody is good. Yes. So when you miss provost, you don't get to be a provost. They select another 4 because you have 4 per company. So when you miss provost, they select another 4 per company that will handle the dining hall. Now the dining hall is very strategic because no matter how you dodge, you must come and eat. And food is commandant's parade in NMS. If you miss food, you could go on dismissal.
Oh, really?
Commandant's parade, you must. Oh, yes. Even if you know.
It's by force. It's by force to eat. Come to
to be present.
To be present.
Yeah.
So the dining hall boys were like the provosts of the dining hall. Because
so you were taking attendance. So do you take attendance every day? You take attendance every meal?
Of course, yes.
It's a parade.
It's a parade. In the morning, you take attendance. In the afternoon, there's attendance. In the night, there's attendance. Now, in the morning, it's a parade. You have your normal morning parade. Then after working hours, you have dismissal parade. After dismissal parade, when you get to your blocks, you do another roll call again. After that roll call again, after prep night in the night, you do your tattoo. We call it tattoo. It's a roll call again. So we are being checked per second in NMS.
Well, okay, quick before you continue. Okay, the way that they do roll call for Una and that they run enter town, how that they run? Because I know Exboys always talk about how they run into town, escape, and all that kind of stuff. So with all this roll call, which time do you guys have to do running into town, bolting into town like that?
Now, survivor of the fittest. Once you're in NMS, you'll be able to know your itinerary in NMS. The only way they'll catch you, maybe if they bank fire alarm. If they bank fire alarm is impromptu. Fire alarm can be anytime. But your normal, we already know when they do these things. I will give you, for instance, I never went to town till my SS1. Throughout, I was a very good boy. But the first day I went to town, I went and came back successfully.
Wow.
That is it. That is it.
So when you went to town, what did you go to do? What did you do?
Okay, we had a senior known as Kelechukwu Chimeziri, aka Jacko. Now this guy was the epitome of wickedness, and he was moving. Now what we mean by moving? It means you are feared.
Right.
It means you are feared. So for someone like a Jacko to send you to town, you don't want to be caught safe.
Wow.
He sent me. It was towards our bush camp. Prior to our bush camping. So he sent me to go and buy. He sent me to Agfa at Ngilisu also. Agfa to buy film for camera for bush camp. And this one he sent me to go and buy. He didn't give you money.
Really?
Oh yes, so that's NMS for you. I went, this movie, say go kill and come back. I came back successfully. Since that day, I think I was inducted into the Awoli's body because I started going to town frequently from that day.
And we had a place where we used to go. They call the place the Felodu. We go there to eat amala.
We go and eat amala.
Then beside the Felodu, there were some funny things they usually go to do there.
Like what?
Confession time, but I'm not doing that.
Oh, really? Okay. All right.
I think I know from talking to Exboys what that is. I'll just leave it as that. Well, I have two questions for you. The first one is, tell me what did you say, Peter? I can't hear you. But anyway, I was going to ask two questions. So the first question is, what are the requirements for being a provost at NMS?
Please come again.
What are the requirements? Give us the process and the requirements for being it, because you are saying that you are explaining about that provost position. What's the requirements of being a provost at NMS and what's the process? Can you explain that?
No. There's what we call patching.
Mm-hmm.
There are 3 stages in NMS that you become a provost: SS1, SS2, and SS3. The first stage of being a provost, there's what we call shifting.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Soki mentioned that. Yeah, Soki, what they do with you guys? Yeah. I can hear you.
There's what
like an initiation.
Yeah.
Initiation, achievement provost. You understand? And that process involves a form of putty. What they call putty? Job. You start job, you somersault, you are flogged, and more like
Initiation,
but it is not an initiation because it doesn't involve
nothing occurs.
Any form of blood and all that, but they hardened you
Overnight.
Yeah, that's SS1. Then SS2, they promote you to a PM.
That's out of the 4 provosts, one person becomes a provost
PM,
marshal.
a provost marshal that coordinates the SS1. Because the RP coordinates JS1, JS2, JS3. So the SS3, the SS2, the PM coordinates SS1, SS3, SS2, and it's a form of bureaucratic position. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the next stage of that RP is
Okay.
then after that you could become a provost marshal in the school. Then at the company level, you will be.
You have a sergeant provost marshal.
You have a sergeant provost marshal,
which he was.
You understand? Which is more like in command. They call them
senior prefect in command.
If you remember vividly, where there's a sergeant PM, that is Sergeant Crofo at the company level.
In military parlance.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? So it involves a whole lot of let me tag it rituals, but not occultic rituals.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Well, so the other question I was going to ask you is, tell us your bush camp experience, from your first bush camp experience, and because you guys, since you guys were SS, GSS and SSS, did you guys start it in GSS 3 or SS1 for your bush camp experience?
Our bush camp,
yeah,
started from SS1.
We start from SS1, but that's what started the bush camp.
You know, prior to that, for the 6234,
yeah, it was from 3.
From GSS 3.
Yeah, from 3. Yeah, from what the other guys told. Okay. So tell us your experience. Yeah, because the other guys in the 80s told us about how whatever happens in bush camp stays in bush camp, does not come back to school. So give us your experience in bush camp when you are in NMS. So give us one of the experiences, like when I know they ship you guys by train and you go to bush camp, and I heard that you can beat your seniors there and they can't touch you when you come back to NMS. Did you guys experience that during your time?
No, that's a very
Now in the 80s, that happened in the 80s. The guys in the 80s said that the guys in the 80s. Hello, can you hear me?
It has never happened in the history of the school that you will bully your senior anywhere.
No. Okay. Did you watch the 10th edition? It's not bullying.
Those guys said different. Those guys said they were senior in push camp.
Yeah, did you watch the 10th edition? They'll corner the 10th edition that we published, right? That they can corner a senior who was wicked. They'll cover their face, beat him up, and run away. That happens in the bush camp and stuff? Hello?
That has never been our father's army. Our own father's army has never been soldiers. But it can
because even if they call you corner and beat your senior, you have fought for the whole school.
Okay, so it must have been different in the 90s.
Hold on. Because what they said, this is what they said, so right? That they said what happens in bush camp stays in bush camp. It doesn't carry over onto school. That's what they said.
Boss, can I tell you the meaning of that?
Okay, explain it.
When we have bush camp, it's usually in Sherry Hills in Plateau State. So towards the end of our exercise, there's what we call campfire nights. And that campfire nights, they come with a whole lot of babes. I get me. So it's a period for you to maybe experiment your skills.
So
Even the only thing happens that night. The only thing that happens that night, there's what we call an advanced and quick attack. That's a war between the boys and the soldiers.
Yeah, I know about that. Yeah, I'm aware of that.
You have the privilege to a kind
When you
of
capture them as prisoners.
yes, prisoner of war.
Prisoner of war.
Right.
And you torture them.
That's what we're talking about. You can torture them,
That
right?
is, yes, but if you are caught, my brother, you're a dead man. You don't have code job. Understand? So you that you go and attack your senior there, you're a dead man. Even at home.
Finds it hard to resume after every holiday.
Wow.
You don't want to.
Yeah, because
don't want-
I mean, the same thing with command. Trust me. Once we cross a particular bridge in command, your heart just drops. And when you see that
bro.
gate, man.
Yeah, bro, let me give you an incident. When we were in military school, Lagos boys, there was this Exboy that owner of Hardcar Airline. You remember Hardcar? Former Hardcar. We were on board of the plane coming back for holiday, and we had this very sweet senior Exboy, terrible Ibrahim Waziri.
Wazito.
He was busy cracking our heads on board of the plane.
Inside plane. And planted somebody.
Planted us. Could you believe that we were praying and let the plane crash?
Let
Let us die and go.
Are you serious? You were that bad?
That's how.
Because at the point we had no value. We had no value for life.
That's how NMS trains you.
Wait, so in the air, you guys were flying from Kaduna to Lagos, and you were planting. You were making you guys plant inside plane that was flying. That's height of weakness.
Yes.
That guy is a sadist.
Height of wicked.
Hey, listen. Like what we say, you guys need therapy.
Yes, you need therapy.
It's just therapy for me.
You guys.
I mean, for real.
They will tell you. I'm honestly. You
They
know
were
that.
terrible guys.
That's what I'm saying. For you to for death at that time, I need some serious therapy for real.
So how many? Wait.
Yes.
Okay, explain that punishment in the plane. So is it on the aisle? He made you guys line up on the aisle and plant your head. So was it only NMS boys in that plane? Was it only NMS boys in that plane? Well, I know. Was it only NMS boys in that plane?
The owner of Hardcar Airline was an Exboy then.
Okay, so there were no civilians.
Out for Lagos boys, airline.
At a very good discount.
Yeah, we call them airliners. There was a form of rebate.
I know, but were there civilians? Were there civilians on the plane?
No.
Strictly ex-boys.
Not at all. Not one.
So while the plane was in the air, they were having all of you serve punishment and be planting. So if there was turbulence in the air, you guys will not fall and resume punishment.
You cannot fall.
I know, at least.
Turbulence is a recent thing now. We never knew that there was anything like that. Could you imagine?
Turbulence have always existed. You just didn't know. So okay. No, I have one more question.
Hold up now. Wait, that's the job of the flight attendant. So how did the flight attendant allow you be getting punished
In the aisle of plane.
Be out in your seatbelt? Yes, because sometimes there's
you have to wear seatbelt. So
I mean,
the air says did not tell them to stop it.
I never knew there was anything like air hostel or anything.
We never saw them.
what?
So didn't they give you guys anything?
Now, after that point, they were using, I think it was
Outcast.
727 planes.
Yes. 230 hard car.
Yes. So maybe a seat space for like 2 people.
You see 4 people sitting down together.
4 of us sit together. That's
in a 2-seat plane. Okay.
Fine. I'm sure they were doing that because we were young, we were small.
Yeah, we were small. Okay.
Even if we sat down 4-4.
Exactly. Right.
Right.
Yes, the plane was still, but that was against aviation.
Of course, now because there was an emergency.
Which way?
How will you not share the belt?
Exactly. That's all right. Okay. The other question I'm asking, the other question I have for you guys is, okay, they put you in plane together, they are punishing you. Once you guys land in Lagos airport, and you are going home, do they still punish you that time, or you are free to go?
My brother, the truth is, if you are at the airport and your father calls you and the senior calls you, you attend to your senior.
You attend to your senior first.
Yeah, I see that. I can.
Yeah.
Because your father will go, you come back and meet that senior.
Well, I can see that. I can say, but you guys are in uniform all through. Every time you are going home on the plane, Abi, you are in uniform.
That's our normal. The military uniforms are.
I know. I'm just saying that you are in military uniform. They don't let you guys wear mufti, right?
Yes.
They suffer you guys too much.
Now we are mufti.
Now, even if you are dirty, even if you are dirty, scruffy, and not very clean in school, there's what we call holiday pay. Your holiday pay, you keep it strictly for going home, so that you look very smart, very sharp at the airport, at anywhere. So you see that morning, everybody with their holiday pay.
Wow.
Oh, because if you are looking dirty, they will deal with you or they will let you go or something. Yeah, you have to be looking sharp all the time.
No, from day one in NMS, they imbibe that that anywhere you go outside the school, you must represent positively. So we have known that as kids. Yes.
Okay.
So that's why you see, they say NMS boys strong. It's not that. You can't bully any NMS boy or any ex-boy. You cannot. And that is why you see in organizations where you find ex-boys, we come out the tops, even in the military and everywhere, we come out top. Because at that young age where our mates were still doing sucking breasts of their mothers, we were already men. We were doing things that our peers could not have even dreamt of to do at that time. How old was I? I was barely 11. I could stroop assemble a rifle. So these are the things. Because the way we have the military courses, the civil courses, math, English, literature, and all that. We also have the military wing with our own other subjects. And for you to be promoted to the next class, you must be average in the two academics and military training. Now, in the military training, we have fieldcraft, tactics, medical, signal, and some other map reading as military courses. So we were fatigued.
So you guys did exam on those ones? Did you guys do exam on those?
Of course, yes.
Okay.
We do exam, both practical and written. Now we have 4 days for academics, 1 day for military training for your whole 6 years.
Oh, really? So is it Monday to Thursday is academics, then Friday is military? How was it during when you guys were there?
Monday to Friday. There are days they could just combine maybe SS3 and
there are days they could combine just because of
understand. But on Monday it could be JSS1, Tuesday JSS2, Wednesday JSS3, Wednesday could be JSS3 and
SS3 on Wednesday.
Understand?
Okay, for military training.
The reason being that they try to kind of bring a form of separation. Of course, you know that the SS3 may not want to have time for the SS3, so they combine them on that particular day. because you may not be able to combine SS3 and SS2. You understand? It's like bringing fire or
And brimstone.
Yes,
Together.
So on each day goes for sets.
Another unique thing in NMS, the class you are in from day one is the same class you will be till you pass out. Like if you are in JSS 1A, set of people, you'll be in JSS 2A, JSS 3A, SS 1A, like that. So now the reason being that in the way NMS is structured, we are not plenty in NMS. Every NMS boy knows every NMS boy in his set. Name
and number.
Name and number. You must know your senior. I don't know how.
So is there any number like 419?
So
is there a number like that?
Is there
a number like 419? Yeah, what?
No. For our period, it was 4 digits. It's still 4 digits, though, today.
Hold up, before you guys, there must have been 3 digits now.
No, Sophie sets in the 80s was 3 digits.
So somebody is 419. I will find that person. And 911. We want them on this show. We want 419 and 911 on this show. All right. So let me ask you.
Okay, go ahead.
Let me ask you, Paul.
Yes, sir.
They talk my question. Though. Which crazy thing you do when they punish you for that provost? Tell me one of your craziest experiences as a provost.
As a PM.
Yeah.
As they punish people, what do you do? What do you do?
Yeah. As a provost marshal, what crazy thing have I done?
Hey, now 1 year now. Don't worry.
Yeah.
We go anytime. We go anytime. Don't.
I get it. Be. I was more like an appointment holder
and a people person.
So most times, if you buy my job, you understand? If you buy my job, you are invariably buying almost everybody's job in my company.
And that is the company.
Company.
You buy one person's job.
You are buying
the whole set of that person's
job.
Wow.
And there are instances whereby maybe a junior knows that you don't. There are people you see naturally you don't like. I get it. And for you to avoid maybe setting from the management or the school authority, you could decide that okay, Chris, Mr. A is trying me. Look for a way and see how you can handle Mr. A. So there are ways that I could be dealing with you, and I'm not going to come physically. I could send Chris. So data company was just like that. But there are times I could just decide to do what they call shake up. Maybe my SS3 students are SS2 students are too relaxed. I could just decide to come up that these guys are not really moving these SS1 students. I'll call them, hang them up in the laundry, flog them.
Explain that hang. Explain that hang. So what do you mean by hang? Explain that hang off that you just mentioned.
Hang off, sit on her head, somersault.
Now, somebody like me, I was what you call the epitome of a wicked senior.
Whoa!
Now, like I said,
you see that coming?
So when you say shake up, there are times when the school is so quiet and everything is just dead dull. There's no dull moments in NMS. Not to talk of when in Delta Company. There's no dull moment. When you say everywhere is dull, you will just create something to shake up. Maybe after school now, you just create job from JSS1 to SS2. Everybody, the whole place on fire. And there's one thing in Delta Company. Once you enter, Delta Company is so quiet that once you enter, you don't see anybody. Now, if you're going to see anybody in Delta Company, either the person is hanging up on the veranda, or is planting, or is some great set of people are serving job. You don't see anybody. You don't. That's how bad Now, I will give you another instance. You know, we talked about food. That's the commandant's parade. Now, you are being timed to eat. You have just collected your food because what they do, you come in the dining hall, your food is already on the table. So you just go and eat. In some cases whereby we close earlier, you need to take your plates and they serve you. You understand? Now imagine everything in the NMS is a parade. You want to eat, somebody will tell you, I'll count 5 for hot boiling food. Someone will tell you, I'll count 5, you are finished eating.
Hey.
For hot boiling food, you just leave the food there. You are basing this parade. You are
So okay, that was what you did. Chris, that was what you did, right? That was how you punished.
We all did it. We all did it.
So wait. So Chris, I have a question for you. From your time in NMS. So as generally regimental experiences makes you grow faster from boys to men, and I know for NMS it does a lot for you guys. Can you compare now that you are older, all the guys that you know are in Delta Company, how they are doing in life compared to maybe Alpha Company, Charlie Company, Bravo Company, or Foxtrot, right? Can you compare how the guys, because you guys literally messed with them and gave them mental problems. So are they doing much better? Are they more tougher on how you guys dealt with them in Delta Company? Because if a guy can tell you to plant your head on the eye of a plane in the air at 30,000 feet in the air, that person is not okay. Generally, that is on a different level of punishment inside plane that they're punishing you. That to make you messed up completely now. So how are you guys coping?
Okay, as it is now, that person in particular is a colonel in the army today, the senior officer. He's a colonel. He works in the NSA today. But I will tell you today, he's one of the finest officers the army has. He's totally different from that person he was at that time.
I know the people he punished the people he punished anyhow.
They too punish people too, so it's balanced.
Yes.
That's how you guys balance it out. You should mess with the next generation and kill them.
I mean, yes. It is what it is.
Right. I had a younger brother in NMS. When I was in SS1, I was in SS1. If we get home, and I'll tell him, that bastard, they haven't eaten with me on the dining table.
Any house?
Are you serious?
Are you serious?
He wakes up in the morning and says, Snopolopo, that is calling. And I'll say, that bastard, so you haven't.
What did your parents say? What did your parents say? You're wicked. What did your parents say?
They never understood what was happening.
Were your parents in the military? Were your parents in the military?
No, they never knew. They just saw that the guy was giving me except.
Paul, was your dad in the military?
No, I had my grandfather that was in the military.
Oh.
Now, we said something about you starting all over from in NMS from 1. So we have people now. Well, Unu was this person. He was not good with the NMS. He had this big frame then. Unu used to be big. From command to he used to be fat. He was among the fattest people in command. Then in NMS, he was big also. Now, Unu is something I knew from this thing. Although I did not suffer. But those other ones I knew that came from command to NMS because of Andrew, because of my elder brother. That dealt with them in command. Oh, I saw hell.
Oh my God! No way.
I suffered.
Really?
Somebody like Bamdele, you say Andrew Okro, come here. That was calling my brothers. He said that's what they call him then. He said, come here.
Really?
Well, this guy dealt the hell with me. I was in Delta Company with me, and in NMS he was a year my senior. So in NMS, if you like, it's even worse that you have a brother or a sibling. It's even worse. It's better you are just alone. So that's how it is. No brother, no sister, no brother, no relative, nothing. So you can understand Paul's younger brother. And Paul's younger brother was also in Delta Company.
Wow.
He saw hell.
Wow.
Not that my brother, because you cannot go and beg for your brother when you buy a job. Nothing. You will see your brother starving job, you will pass.
So okay, so let's ask you the big money question. I know you guys have you have high regards for NMS, at least during your time. Will you send your kids to NMS? Paul, starting with you.
That's a tough one. Well, it's a desire every Exboy to send his kids. It gets to a point whereby you realize that most of your customers are sending their kids there, and you may be tempted to do that. Understand? But if you look at it this way, I feel we are more rugged and, let me use the word, street than our kids these days. Because I look at my son and I begin to feel it's too fragile. Because of course, in NMS at the point you'll be thinking maybe your parents they hate you because
yes, they dumped you there. We felt like that in command, like they dumped you there.
You understand? But believe you me, I'll be glad to send my kids to NMS because they made me wherever I am today. Resilient. Do I say I'm stubborn and a kind of it gives you.
It does.
They make you feel very special. That
in many ways.
You're a special being. You know, they get an impression. Because the moment you put on that uniform, you feel you are very, very special and all that. So, but I may wish to send my kids there. You understand? But I don't know. But believe me, I wish my kids would go there. Well,
legacy wise, yes. But when I think of what I went to NMS, I don't want my child to suffer such because honestly it was hell.
Because it seems you guys, that's what I said. It seems you guys still need therapy even up till now. So I don't think you want to send your kids there.
Yeah, the truth is, the very moment you get to NMS, your parents no longer know who you are again. Understand? Because you become a specialist in in fact, they don't.
You now become independent at that age.
Yes,
very independent.
It was like that in command. I became very independent.
You don't understand. You understand? You don't have you will not confide in your father again or your mother. You can never tell them the true situation of things. You understand? Wherever you tell them 50% are lies. You get my point? Come between streets and independence.
So I got one more question. One of our major questions.
Without to the system, if you are lying, we know
because we can checkmate you. We were trained there too.
Right.
So
exactly. Of course. So, would you say your time in NMS? Who you say had an impression on you, Chris?
Yeah.
Starting with you.
Who will I say what?
Good or bad? Who had an impression on you?
I really don't know.
Had an impression on you, good or bad?
Okay.
Like a mentor, both your mates that you appreciated things that got you to where you are today.
Yeah. Now.
No, good or bad though. Any kind of impression, either good or bad.
Good or bad, yeah. In NMS, every senior is your mentor. That's how NMS is designed. You always want to be like that senior. You can't wait for you to go from one stage to another stage to fit into that shoe. Because because there's something you get from every NMS boy is unique. So you cannot say I want to be like this person, I want to be like that person. Every NMS boy, your senior is unique. So there is something from each person you will get. One or two things. That's how it's designed. So at the long run, even if you don't follow somebody, unknowingly, someone can tell, this guy, he's as moving as so person. He's as wicked as so person. He's as nice as so person. Unknowingly to you. That brings you to inheritance of nicknames. So maybe because of one single person you behave or you act like one person, you might just inherit his nickname. That's an NMS is. So you cannot say, this person, I want to be like this person. No. There is a unique thing to learn from every NMS boy, your seniors. Very unique. So not just one person.
Were you there when is it Brigadier General Momo was the commandant? Was it your commandant during that?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, because I know he came from Command Ibadan. He came from Command Ibadan. He just passed away recently as a Major General.
HM Momo, right?
Yes.
HM Momo. Yes, NYC. So he was first Command Ibadan commandant before NYC. Yeah.
Yes, the hierarchy then used to be for you to head NMS, because NMS is a military institution. You must first you must first be director of NYC. That's the hierarchy. After director of NYC, maybe you have been commandant in other places, maybe schools, command secondary schools. Yes, so it's seniority. Everybody will become NYC director. So you must first be NYC director, then you now be NMS commandant. From NMS commandant, the next post is director of army education. So it's a kind of hierarchy. Truthfully, like that on and on. But now it has
was your commandant?
Because we are now regular officers to NMS.
Was Shofoliwe your commandant too?
Yes, Shofoliwe was our commandant.
Okay, I know Shofoliwe.
Yes, at some point, yes. From NMS to this thing, to NMS.
Okay.
Remember Okudaso?
Even Okudaso.
Okay.
Okudaso.
Okudaso.
Okay, yeah. No, but you guys didn't meet Fakulujo, who was your commander in the 80s, who his son came to our school. Kunle, but I think one of his sons was in your school. He finished in 92. I can't remember his first name, but his son that was my classmate in command. I know his father was the commandant in the 80s, Colonel Fakulujo, from I think 85 to 90.
Yes, Fakulujo.
Okay, Samson Fakulujo.
Colonel Fakulujo, yes, was our commandant. Yes.
Yeah, when you guys were there. Yeah. So do you guys compare your experiences with Air Force military schools, JOS? Do you guys compare because when we ask the other Exboys, they always say it's no experience, that those guys don't train as hard as you guys. So how will your own perspective of Air Force military schools JOS compared to your experience? I have a couple of friends that went to Air Force military school JOS actually.
The truth about it is, everybody that is gone through a whole lot. I get him, and we know what we've seen. And if I'm going to give that comparison, if they have that standard that have gone through, they would have been going to units. You get my point?
What I mean going to units? That would have been enlisted
and enlisting them into the Air Force.
They did in the 80s though. They did that in the 80s. I don't know about 90s, but my friends who finished in 87, 88, 89, they enlisted them. I saw their military ID. They enlisted them into units in the 80s.
Yes, they stopped
this former Minister of Interior, Dambazao.
Oh, really? Did they have the authority to stop it?
That stopped it. So, yeah.
It was the chief of army staff. He could recommend that.
He was chief of army staff.
Oh, got you.
It was a personal issue with his son.
Oh, really?
Yes. It was a personal issue with his son, who is Exboys. His sons are ex-boys. He has 3 sons, and they are all ex-boys.
Okay.
So they had personal issues. So just to of how many years? Now, like I said, you have the military courses, you have the civil courses. Now, what makes NMS unique? Like I said earlier, we take military training as core courses. You must pass your military training and also pass your academics. So, what the recruit soldiers learn in 6 months, 9 months, we do it for 6 years. For 6 years, we do it for 6 years. So imagine at that age. What I knew in GSS3. Some recruits do not know it even till tomorrow.
Why? You mean they don't give them the same training?
It's like their own training is like a rush.
Crash program.
Crash program.
It's kind of a crash program, exactly.
It's 6 months, yeah.
Why we
it's 9 months,
very dissected. Why we it's just like, let me put it, it's just like someone who goes to NDA as a regular officer with 4 or 5 years, depending on the policy, and someone, a civilian who commissions for 6 months and becomes 6 to 9 months and becomes an officer. The same.
Different.
Yes, they'll say PIP. It's not the same. You understand? What you learned in 9 months, somebody for 4 years. So you can't really compare that training. So because of the hectic training, that's why we are till tomorrow. We still go. We are enlisted into the military directly. Yeah. So that's what makes the difference. And at the same time, for dressing, it's not that I'm trying to make much. Air Force Military School is a very, even in ND and anywhere, they stand out. They stand out very well. But if you see,
in the Air Force dressing, they dress very well.
See videos.
Wait, you say Air Force dress better? Is that what you're saying? Air Force Military School guys dress better?
No, NMS dress better, and we are better in drill. I'm talking of the military part. We are better in drill.
Okay.
So you could Google that. You will see video. Yeah. So
wow. It's been fun, guys. It's been real fun. I learned so much today.
We learned new things from you guys. We need you to bring more Exboys into the fold over here once we release this video. Thank you for definitely watching the previous one. It is interesting to learn new things, like they paid for you people's education in civilian university. Jesus Christ. that was interesting. We didn't know, and you guys are still chopping army salary in between that. You guys are enjoying, no? But I'll definitely know what I want to do job inside plane. For someone to be putting me to sit on my head, that's all have been a serious problem.
All right.
There's no
let's take it home.
You cannot plant. We've been planted in moving vehicle also. In moving vehicle, we've been planted too.
Oh really? Those 911.
Of course.
Molwe.
So at your age now, can you see plants? Now?
Maybe I will not die. I will die. Honestly, what we were designed to absorb at that time, we can't try it again. Really?
Yeah.
At the moment, it's more of mental works.
Mental.
Can you imagine in NMS, somebody wants to flog you? There's what we call bareback flogging, Commandos. Now, there's what we used to clean. We call it chain pull through. We use it to clean through when we're cleaning the rifle, the barrel of the rifle. We pull it through with cleaning. Well, you can't it. Somebody will carry that in and flog you
Without clothes on.
Without anything on. Inside the harsh cold of Zaria. We were trained like animals. That is why you see there's no way every ex-boy is is kind of has a kind of stereotype behavior. You will know when you, from even the Baba Exboys, you see senior most Exboys, and that bond is because of what we passed through. There's the bond. Maybe I didn't meet you in NMS, but from you, just for me, I'm an Exboy. The love, you can go anywhere from it. The way we are, somebody and sees a vehicle with NMS sticker on it, it clears you to stop just to identify with you. So that's why people say it's a cult. You understand? That is a society, even in the military itself. They say we are.
There's this confabulated spirit among us.
No, but it's a camaraderie. I think I definitely agree with you. When you go through the same experience, it's just like even command. The camaraderie with command is serious. And for me, not just command, anybody that went to any military, regimental school, even Air Force and stuff, there's that camaraderie there, but it's closer with the people that you have the exact same experience. So I remember in the 90s, after I finished secondary school, I was hanging with my command classmates. I was also hanging with a lot of boys from NMS. Some of them I knew from command training school. Some, I met while I was in school and different. So because when they know that you went to command, they relate to you better than they relate to someone that went to a federal government college or something like that. You get where I'm coming from. So that's why I have a lot of friends that went to NMS. Plus, I knew a couple of them from command training school too. So that helped a lot, you understand, in regard. So I definitely agree that camaraderie, and it's always a honor to attend those kind of schools because it builds you, as you rightfully said, there are punishment you can't do at this age. You just die. But, that mental fitness, that mental health, to be resilient, to be able to do anything, not give up, right? Not give up in life. Those are things that builds you from boys to men. You understand that? Look, there's always going to be failure in life, right? You always have these challenges and stuff. But when you know that, okay, you dealt with this and everything, it gives you that resilience to keep pushing forward in regards to whatever you choose to do in your life, whatever your career path or business or whatever, and that's the essence why we have this platform to not just to bring people from command but other military schools, so that the networking, the camaraderie, hear each other's experience, and network, and so just like when we spoke to your brother who finished, he was a year my junior in command, and he said he went to NMS for his first 6 months before he came to command, and he now mentioned that you went to NMS. He will get you to come on the show and stuff. I was like, okay, cool. You understand? It makes a lot to bring that camaraderie and keep bringing more boys from NMS and other schools too, come and share the experiences with us and build that camaraderie as we move along in life. It's all about camaraderie, networking, and learning from each other, and also, future doing whatever businesses and stuff, that's the essence to having this platform, to promote that, our previous experience, but promote the future of doing things together as people who, as I always say, we are from the same army education, family, and MOD.
Yeah.
Then we're all from the same army education and MOD family. So, it's that kind of thing. We had, I think, an AO who came from NMS. I think it was Sankara or something in the 80s. And man, that guy was very strict when he came to command. Jesus Christ, chasing people up and down the whole place, dealing with you. And we had an RSM that was very tough, who dealt with us.
Was the provost NMS?
I don't know, but it was tough. It was very, very tough. You understand? So those kind of those same methodologies move around that builds you. Although we didn't suffer as much as you guys or do the other military, the weapons training and stuff. But at least the mental health one. It was pretty tough, and at least if you saw the previous, I'm sure by someone else seeing this episode, by the time we publish it, they were like, I recognize that training, I recognize what I felt, amongst other things, and it made me a boy to a man, and stuff like that. And now we'll ask you the same question we asked the other guys. Would you prefer to have gone because you attended command? Do you prefer what was the question again?
The co-ed.
Co-ed versus a school, single sex school. So because you attended command in Paja, so which one do you prefer, NMS or when you're
at that age? Yeah, at that age, I really didn't see anything wrong there. It was just a school. But growing, I think I would have preferred school because Now we had a few people that were social in NMS. Now because we had this lit club, so those were the G's. When we bring girls come around, Air Force girls come, all those the schools in Zaria, they come around. So some of us that were not in the lit club or social at that time, we found ourselves being very rigid. Could not tote girls after leaving NMS because we didn't have those skills. Before me or each other. Have that. So like me, I would have been in a mixed school and NMS.
Oh, you are preferred, okay, to get those NMS, to get those social skills.
Yeah, so.
Well, we've heard comments from a few people saying that Exboys can't toast, but we laugh about it. Hey, look, we all get different experiences, from things, and stuff. But it's funny, it's just, the little yabs here and there. But yeah. Well, yeah. Thank you very much, gentlemen. It was a pleasure hearing your experiences. A little different from the 80s set. In regards to that, and I'll actually say two of our neighbors when I was growing up, they were my dad's age mate, but they were majors. They were Exboys. I think they were the first set Exboys actually. They were neighbors to me. They were my dad's units too. So it was interesting hearing from them when they were, they're much older. They're in their 70s right now. So when they used to talk about NMS, so one of them is actually my godfather actually. But it's interesting. That's one of the reasons why and I have a lot of NMS friends. So communicating with you guys, I understand most of your lingo and things, from back in the day. And if you watch the 10th episode, my cousin who went there always talked a lot to me about it back in the 80s. So I understood a lot of what you guys went through and stuff. But yeah, I want to thank you very much for gracing us with your presence on this show. We would like to have more Exboys to come and talk about their experiences and their perspective as we move along. And please subscribe, like and share, especially once in a few weeks we'll have this edition ready, and share with your colleagues from NMS. And we'd like to have a lot of them.
So you have my number, just
yeah.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure. All right, cheers. Peace, man.
Thank you.
All right, cheers.
All right.